Hey gang, it's your boy Trippy, back at it again with another challenge video. Thank you guys so much again for all the support you guys showed on the Hop Hip video. I really do appreciate it. But let's get to the task at hand. We're here to find out if it's possible to beat Pokemon Ruby with just Whismur. Alright, so as you guys know the deal, my name's Trippy, and we're gonna hop right into this thing with the rules. Rule number 1, only Whismur is allowed in battle. Yep, that's right. Rule number 2, no items can be used in battle, just like last time. Well, with the exception of held items, of course. Now, rule number 3, just like the last challenge, no TMs are allowed, so we're stuck with the moveset that we have, which honestly, not that bad. I have a couple strategies in mind, but let's hop right into this thing and go ahead and pick up our boy Whismur. Now, Whismur's stats are okay at best. His HP is not the worst, but overall, still really subpar. So we beat the Poochyena no problem, and then go ahead and collect our Whismur. We name him Wizzy and get on our way up north, where we then battle our rival May. So May has a Torchic. I did this intentionally so that Blaziken, being a fighting type, would have a strong advantage against us later on in the playthrough. So we beat her, no problemo, and we make on our way back down to Little Root, where we can talk to the professor and get on our way with our actual adventure. We talk to Mama and pick up our shoes. Now, we're going to speed through this portion right up here in the beginning so I can kind of go over a little strat that I have in mind. My real starting strategy is to catch a couple of Zigzagoons in order to try and get some stat boosting items such as rare candies, proteins, and PP ups. But also keep in mind, a big part of this playthrough is I wanted to avoid as much unnecessary grinding as possible. But that being said, we get to the first gym leader, Roxanne, where she sends out her Geodude, but my first attempt at the Geodude doesn't go as planned and she knocks me out very quickly. So I have to think of some sort of strategy where I can actually defeat the Geodude and her nose pass. So the idea that I had in my head was I need to go against Geodude and confuse him as much as possible and either hope that he misses or that he hurts himself in confusion so that I can keep as much health as possible throughout this entire battle, which honestly is pretty tough just considering how bulky these rock Pokemon are. Now, my first strategy overall against this gym leader is working out pretty well, I would say. It didn't take me too long to beat the Geodude, and then I get the confusion up on the nose pass. Thankfully, the RNG starts swinging my way in this battle as I start throwing some howls up to boost my attack stats. From there, pretty much we're just trying to use Astonish, which is a neutral damaging move, with the possibility of flinching him. Granted, we don't get many flinches at all, but we do get the W, and we move on our way over to the cave where we battle the Team Magma member that has kidnapped Pico, the Wingull. Yeah, nothing crazy, but it is an important part of the playthrough in my opinion. So that's why we're kind of including this, just so you can kind of get it with the progression. Now, as we go through this entire playthrough, I will be chopping certain things out as we move forward that is not very important to the story. But one thing I need to mention right here is we do collect the Silk Scarf before we take on Brawley. Now, Brawley is a fighting gym leader, which is honestly going to be pretty tough for Whismur, considering it's super effective against us. And as you can see, things don't really go my way. We get our butt handed to us over and over again, to the point where I get pretty much just sick of battling Brawley, and I decide, you know what? Let's try something else. Let's go ahead and progress through the story, and while not doing any unnecessary grinding, of course, talk to Steven, drop off the letter, and make our way back over to the gym leader. We can try again, but at a higher level, of course. Now this time, we actually do really well. Stomp is the key to this battle. We kick his butt with Stomp, literally. But with that being said, we get the second gym badge, and we make on our way over through Slayport up north, where we fight May, where she now has a Wailmer that only knows Splash. So what we do, we use Howl. We howl all the way up, so we get a maxed out attack stat, and we just basically one-shot the rest of her team. From there, we head up further north to Route 111, where we battle Steven's family and we can acquire the Macho Brace, which will definitely help us out. Up next is the third gym leader, Wattson, where the first time around definitely didn't go our way. We got our butt handed to us, I'm not gonna lie. but the second time around, we definitely had his number, and a little bit of luck. We got a lot of bit of RNG on our side. A couple of times he hurt himself, and we were able to get up our howls so we can boost our attack stat. First things first, we took down the Magnemite, took down the Voltorb, and then we get to the Magneton. The Magneton was a little bit more of a challenge, but honestly, not too bad. He gets us with the paralysis, and then we're able to take him down. So, that's it. GG, Wattson. We're on to the next thing. Let's get it, fam. Let's get it. So up next, what we do is we go ahead and collect Strength and the Expa Share from Rustboro, then head towards the Meteorite Falls with Team Magma and Team Aqua waiting for us there. After that, we go towards the Volcano, where we have to battle Maxie. Now, Maxie's a little bit of a tougher challenge, or so I thought he would be. The Intimidate from Mightyenia was definitely a problem at first, but of course we use Howl to kind of negate that effect, and then we take on the Golbat, which was pretty easy. From there, the Camarap did scare me, but our level difference was too much. We're able to survive his attack, and we take down Maxie. Up next, we head to Lava Ridge Town, where our next challenge awaits. Of course, that's Flannery. Now, this battle was normal strategy for us, and I think it worked pretty well. The only thing that really kind of gave me trouble, I'd say, was the Torkoal. The Torkoal was really tough with Overheat and a Sunny Day combo. That thing was whooping my tail left and right. I mean, I was crying like a Whismur out there, I'm not gonna lie. But with a couple attempts, I did get a couple of good roll damages on Stomp with a couple of Howl Ups, and finally I got a one shot on Torkoal and we got the W on her. So thankfully we're gonna be able to keep on moving forward with this one, y'all. So what we do next, you guys, is we actually grab the Go-Go Goggles from May, head to the desert, grind up a few levels, and then head to our dad Norman, where the next gym battle awaits us. Now he has a couple of Slackings, and he's a little bit of a trouble the first couple times, just because he uses Encore on us whenever we use Howl or Rest, so we'd basically be stuck in that move set. But it's okay, because the next time around we did get a flinch off. We were holding the King's Rock, which we actually picked up from one of our Zigzagoons, and we take down the Slay Kings, not without too much difficulty. He uses a Focus Punch, we're able to interrupt him, and then from there we just one-shot the Vigoroth with a crit. I'd probably say that crit mattered, but hey, you know what? A win's a win. Up next, we head up north to the Weather Institute, where we need to take on some more Team Magma grunts, and of course Courtney, the Team Magma admin. Her Mightyenia is a little bit of a tricky mess for us, just because, well, she kills us. I'm not gonna lie, we got our butt handed to us that first time around. But the second time around, I had her number and we were able to get the W. So from there, it's pretty much straightforward. We're gonna go ahead and battle our rival May. So May has a Whalmer, but this time, not just splashing us, she's got Water Pulse. A little bit more of a challenge in my opinion, but we're gonna do the same strategy as usual. We're gonna go ahead and use a couple Howls and then go for the Stomps. Now the Stomps, in my opinion, are very, very key because we can get a flinch every now and then, but we didn't even need them against her. We took her out no problemo. We collect Fly, and next thing's next, we're on to the next city, fam, where we collect the Devon's Scope, and we're able to take on the next gym leader. Now, the next gym, same strategy as before. I basically was just planning on doing a couple of Howls, and then trying to take out her mons one by one. Really, really straightforward, hoping for a couple of flinches with the King Rock and Stomp combo. Now, the Plepper was a little bit of a challenge, not too bad. He got our health down a lot. We were able to take down the Skarmory surprisingly quickly, but Altaria took us out easy peasy. So, second attempt, I decided, you know what, let's just head in straight in attack mode. Now, the Plepper kept using Protect, so I was like, you know, I'll use a couple of Howls, build up my attack stat, and see if we can take this man down. But, of course, Skarmory is a bit more of a tank, so it takes a few more hits on that end. Decide to use one more Howl before the Altaria comes out, and from there, well, I guess you guys can guess what I do. I use Stomp, and we take her down. So there we are, the next gym badge is ours, and so from there, you guys, we head on to our next rival battle, which is located in Lily Cove. And honestly, not gonna lie, this one goes about as the same as the last one. We pretty much do the same strategy. We use Howl twice on the Swellow, and then from there we're pretty much one-shotting everything she throws at us, which, in my opinion, totally cool with. The easy battle every now and then, never hurt nobody. Now we gotta go ahead and chase after Team Magma, which just stole the red orb. So of course we're gonna go ahead and chase them down all the way to their hideout, which is in Lily Cove. Now we have a administrator waiting for us with a Numel, and we one-shot the Numel, nice and easy, not too bad at all. But the Mightyenia, using its Intimidate, definitely didn't do us any favors. They heal up, and of course they use Swagger, which was not smart, simply because it boosted our attack and we were able to one-shot everything else. Now you guys, this is the most important part of the playthrough, and as you guys can tell, I'm struggling right here, because Graveler explodes and kills me. I'm level 57, still kills me. But here is the most important part of this playthrough. The 7th gym is a double battle gym, and so I decided to catch a Whismur that's much lower level, give him the extra share, so that way he's not actually in battle. But we're going to go ahead right into this thing. I taught my Whismur with a heart scale hyper voice in case I needed to use it, but it's still giving me a bit of a challenge with this battle just because the teamwork on their end is a lot better than my 2 Whismurs, I'm not going to lie. So we give it a couple of attempts, but they wreck us each and every time. So I decided to use a couple of rare candies on the Whismur that's lower level. The rare candies that I collected from the Zigzagoon, might I add. But from there, they decided to take out the weaker Whismur, and eventually I'm able to chip away at this duo. Now, I think this really worked in my favor. The RNG was really on my side. I use an Astonish, which is of course super effective. I get the flinch and the W. This, in my opinion, was my favorite part of the playthrough. The strategy worked perfectly, and I am just super satisfied with the way this battle turned out. So from there we collect the HM dive, and then we head on over to battle the leader of Team Magma, who of course has a Mighty Enya as always. He uses the Intimidate on us, which gets our attack down, but we get a crit off, and it definitely does wonders for us. Now, of course, we got to take on the Crobat. He gets the Confusion on us, but no problem for us. We take him down easy peasy. After that, the Camerupt again. Uses the Amnesia, but doesn't really matter too much. We're going to use the Stomp, and we're able to survive the Earthquake. Probably because of the level difference, honestly, at this point, but that's okay. We take him down, and we're on to battle Groudon. Now, honestly, Groudon was actually a lot tougher than I thought he was going to be, so I ended up deciding to capture him so I can just move on with the playthrough. Now, nothing too crazy, obviously I didn't use him, but we go back over to the Heart Scale guy so I can relearn Rest and remove Hyper Voice. I think this is going to be really key for the remainder of this playthrough. So from there, you guys, we're on to the final gym. Now, Love Disc was honestly a little annoying at first, but not a big deal. I decided to use Howling on him just so I could boost my attack stat as high as possible, and then used Rest so I could heal up and go ahead and try to take on the rest of the team. Now, this actually worked really freaking well. So pretty much I was one-shotting everything left and right because of my boosted attack stat, plus my massive level difference. So honestly, the battle itself wasn't too hard. I would actually still say that the 7th gym was by far the most difficult gym in this playthrough. So you guys, we are finally here. We are entering Victory Road, where we finally have to take on Wally. Wally's got a stacked team this time around. He doesn't just have Ralts. He starts out with the Altaria, where he's going to use Dragon Dance. We boost our stats. We hit him with a Stomp. GG on that, Mom. We take him out no problem. He used the Delcatty. We're just going to keep continuing using this strategy of the Stomp. If we don't get him, well, we can hope for a flinch if anything else. So from there, we're pretty much just going to run through this man with the same exact strategy that we've had this entire playthrough, and just have our fingers crossed that we can get a few flinches here and there if we don't take him out the first time around. But from there, it's pretty much straightforward, you guys. We take down Wally like it's no big deal, and you guys, we finally freaking made it. We made it to the Elite Four, and we've got a couple strategies in mind. We're going to try this out the very first time with a Silk Scarf, and see how this goes for us. So you guys, here we are, the first Elite Four battle, and we take down the Mighty Enya without much issue at all. We keep using the Stomp strategy. In case we don't take him out, we're always going to hope for the flinch. But with that being said, the first guy we're going to get through pretty easily in my opinion. The Absol, I was expecting a little bit more of a challenge, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. Shiftery's up next. He used Double Team. I did miss just because of that, but we take him out in one shot, and we're on to the next Elite Four member. Now, the next Elite Four member I thought was going to be a little bit more tricky just because of the ghost typing, and of course I couldn't use Stomp against her, so I decided to enact a different type of strategy, you guys. I decided to go for the Astonish and hope for a flinch in that regard. Now, this is where things got a little interesting for me. I decided to use a couple of Howls. I get burned. Now, this is my favorite part right here, y'all. I decided to equip Wizzy with a Chesto Berry, so that way I could use Rest and instantly wake up. I am honestly really thankful for thinking of this the last second before entering this battle, and I think it was honestly a game changer for us. So now we had our Howls up, we had full health, and now we can just hope for either flinches or some crits to take out all of these ghost type Pokemon, and that's exactly what we do, y'all. We kick butt at this point. So Dusclops used the Citrus Berry, and all we got to do is one more Astonish, and we're on to the very next Elite Four member, y'all. Okay, so on to the third Elite Four member, and honestly, I had a feeling that this was going to be a tough challenge, just because I know that Whismur's special defense is pretty bad, as we discussed in the beginning of this video. But that's okay. I figure we go in with our typical strategy and see if we can get a little bit of RNG luck on our side. Well, unfortunately I was right, and the special defense was simply too low. I barely get two-shot every single time, and after so many attempts, I decided to go ahead and use some of the rare candies that I had collected from the Zigzagoon and try again. Well, I continue to lose over and over again. And not gonna lie, it got really aggravating. So it got to the point where I realized that this particular level is just not gonna work. I did try my hardest, but I knew at the end of the day my special defense was just too fragile and I needed to be a little bit higher level for this. So once again, I decide, alright, I'll give in. I'll do a couple of more rare candies just to get a few more levels up and see if we stand more of a chance. I battle and I get a crit on the first mon, so that prevented the hail, which enabled me to get a few howls off, enough to raise my attack to be able to do ample damage to the remaining mons. Thankfully, Wellrin missed its attack and I was able to get 2 shots off for a clean victory and on to the next Elite Four member, Drake. Now I had to get rid of Shelgon quickly before the Rock Tomb decreased my speed stat way too much. Luckily for me, he actually missed 3 times in a row and I was able to get my attack stat up by 3 points. Now, it's just up to me to clean up on Altaria and take down Flygon. Now, from there, I used another howl, then rested up so I could prepare for the Salamence. Now, honestly, I was very surprised I was able to take out Salamence in just one blow, and we move on to Steven. Now, real quick, you guys, if you like what you saw today, definitely be sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. But now here we go, you guys, the final battle of Hoenn. Let's get it, fam. Let's do this. Let's take on Steven and get our first ever W in our Pokemon Challenge series. So, right off the bat, Skarmory, I knew it was going to be a tank, so I decided to go ahead and use Howl and completely boost my attack stat. I wanted to do this because I knew the rest of his mons were going to be able to eat the move Stomp like it was no problem, but thankfully we boost our attack all the way up, and we take down Skarmory no problem, and it seems as though the rest of his team isn't going to be much of an issue as well with our attack stat completely maxed out. So the Armaldo goes down, the Claydol goes down. I knew the Aggron was going to be a little bit tougher just because of his defense stat, but once again, not a problem for Wizzy. We take down Aggron in 2 shots. Then there's Cradilly. Cradilly I thought could be a bit of a challenge, but that being said, we got the flinch and we take him out in 2 shots. Finally, there's Metagross, his ace. And as you guys can imagine, we stick with our strategy and we get the W. And there it is, fam. We finally win our first Pokemon Challenge. We get the W, and we are now the champions of Hoenn with just a Whismur. We did it, fam. We did it. We got the W, and I am so freaking excited to be able to share this experience with you guys. And that was it. That's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here with me. Once again, my name is TrippyTrainer, and I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that's really supported the channel so far this year. A big shout out to all of my homies, of course, you guys know who you are. A massive shout out to my roommate who I couldn't have done this video without. Big shout out to you, my dude. And of course, you guys watching the video right now. Thank you guys so much for your support. Once again, if you haven't already, definitely be sure to smash that like button. Even share the video if you don't mind. I would love to share this experience with as many people as possible. But you guys, that's it for your boy. We had an awesome experience and I cannot wait for the very next challenge. And definitely have that bell rung so you don't miss it, y'all. I am, once again, TrippyTrainer. And as always, y'all, stay trippy and peace out.